Education reform should be really a reform. Government policy will have to make sure that they are not resulting the opposite of what they wanted. And of course, how do we stop corruption, which is a major um, hindrance to progress in this country. So maybe 40 years from now, either we achieve our goal or maybe we will be worse off than what we are today. Thank you very much.
Ngayon, din nga aga sa atong nga tanan. First of all, I'd like to congratulate National Economic Development Authority, headed by their delegation of all the NEDA staff. Wala diri si Director, but of course, I'd like to congratulate her and all of them for giving us this kind of orientation. And I would like to congratulate the Central Philippine University for implementing this ambition natin inong anon to the President Robles of Central Philippine University and all of you here today, because this is a genuine opportunity for us to think and look forward into what we want to be in the future, maybe even far beyond 2040. Now, I am representing the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Iloilo chapter, headed by our President, Mrs. Donna Ratilla, and so with our other members in the Board of Directors of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Now, I agree with President Robles that first thing first is to have that kind of the attitude, the mindset, which every Filipino should look into, because if we don't have the proper mindset, whatever kind of development undertakings or even development approaches that we will be undertaking, it will be a waste. Because if we don't have the kind of the proper mindset to really change ourselves from within our hearts and within our minds, we cannot do more and make a major change for us, for our family, and for our society. So there should be some kind of inner change, especially not only on the material side of the picture, not only on the economic side of the picture, the social side of the picture, the kind of social and economic transformation. What I'd like also to suggest that we have to look into the spiritual side of the picture. I have been studying. If you don't have that, you're considered as poor. And why are we poor? Because we don't have, or even we have the opportunity, we don't work. We are not proactive. We are apathetic. You don't have the drive. You don't have the, that eagerness to look for work. So that is the most important thing, that every Filipino should have that really mindset and the enthusiasm to work and be employed. Once you are given that employment, all of us should collaborate together to have full employment. And this is my observation, being a member of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Iloilo. Taking into consideration the framework that was presented by NEDA, let us look into the bigger picture to address the issue of poverty and why we are poor. The main issue, or the bigger issue, is still unemployment. And the Department of Labor and even us could say that we have so many people, even young people, who are unemployed, or if they are employed, they are underemployed. We have many even retirees who are also, like me, I am a retiree. No, to be a retiree, I am an senior citizen. Sooner or later, I might be out of work because I will retire from government service and from the private sector. So, ano nga akong employment? Wala ako sa employment. Kung wala employment, ano nga akong income to sustain my daily needs, to eat 3 square meals a day and have a decent living? So that's the basic question of today. Full employment, self-employment, not just partial employment. So, let us look deeper into the policy and maybe do some kind of analysis about government and even private in order to support, to have full employment. And the only thing that we have to maybe look into is how to develop entrepreneurship. We want each and every one of us to be successful, a small entrepreneur or a big entrepreneur. If you look into the whole country today, according to our Assistant Secretary of the Department of Trade and Industry, yesterday I was in the Iloilo Convention Center. We have more or less 942,000 entrepreneurs in the whole country. Ang ining figure, ginatagya, is very, very minimal compared to the total population. We are now around 100 million. And you have only 942 million, considering be 1 million pa. That's almost how many percent of the population? That's less than 10% entrepreneurs. And if the entrepreneur should be the foundation of the Philippine economy, kagamay-gamay sini, that cannot propel us to economic progress and prosperity. So, these 942,000 entrepreneurs, most of them are shaky. Shaky ang ilang situations. Most of them cannot avail of credit. We have to make some revolutionary living and to be successful entrepreneurs. The micro entrepreneurs of today needed a lot of support from government. And government should look into how it will be able to assist them not only in availing of credit facilities, but also in giving them the proper knowledge and expertise for them to be able to grow up to year 2040. That is one big challenge for us. Second, the target of 1 million. The target of, let's say, they were talking yesterday about 5,000 entrepreneurs every year. This is insignificant. Well, I should say that for us, the government and the private sector should target every year, starting 2017, we will target to have 1 million successful entrepreneurs. That is why we encourage our fellow kababayans abroad, not only the OFWs, but also the Balikbayans, to implement and initiate the Balik Investment Program for all Balikbayans to be with the Bayanihan spirit to invest in their beloved country, the Philippines, so that we can create more jobs, we can have more businesses, to provide the money for those members of the family who doesn't have the money because the banks will not give them and will not lend them money. So the Balik Investment Program is one of our intervention strategy in trying to create economic development for our country. We have the Ole Pasi Investment Program, where Balikbayans, Pasinhon from Lebanon, Pasinhon from Hong Kong, Pasinhon from the United States of America, Pasinhon from London will be going back and assist us to develop and create successful entrepreneurs together with the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So I would like to challenge us together in government, in the private sector, in the academe, that we will target 1 million or more entrepreneurs every year that will make it in the next 27 years up to the year 2040. We will have 27 million or more entrepreneurs. If we have more than, we have 50 million entrepreneurs, then I can say that we can be one of the best economy, not only in Asia, but in the whole world. So that is a big challenge. And how are we going to do it? We can start with having that kind of commitment. We have to have, we in the private sector, we have to have that commitment to serve our fellow entrepreneurs. We have to have that commitment to serve especially the most underprivileged and make them successful entrepreneurs, the poorest of the poor. That is our commitment for the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to see to it that we will have that target of 27 million or more successful entrepreneurs. Because for all you know, in 2040, we will have a increasing population of more than 100 million. Maybe we will have around 200 million. So kung gamay lang ang target ng entrepreneurs, that is insignificant in terms of moving the country, just like what they have in Japan. In Japan, the Japan Junior Chamber of Commerce is the foundation of the Japanese economy. And so we would like to replicate this, that everyone who are entrepreneurs.
Very good vision. And that is a vision natin 2040. There was a program of the United Nations way back 1962. The theme was Health for All in 2080. So it was 38 years of program. It was held in Kazakhstan. A lot of delegates were there. 149 countries during the time participated in this program, and they have this vision, health for all in 2080. But 1979, this concept was not materialized, and Philippines started to come in and present the idea. That's why late President Marcos issued a letter of instruction number 969 to adopt this program. The reason why this concept was not materialized because of one thing. That was the modernization of the civilization. That was a very good concept, Health for All in 2080. They started that program 1962 in Kazakhstan, but it didn't happen. Now, here in the Philippines, we have ambition not in 2040. That is, we are now 2016, so we have at least 24 years to achieve this goal. And we need to learn from what that incident in United Nations program, kung na-fail siya, we need to revisit. And we need to, if it is necessary, we need to apply kung ano ang aradara. So, my concept, my interpretation, and my idea on how to achieve this ambition natin is only by rephrasing the word itself. This is just a simple, but it's so hard to apply because you need to change the mindset up of every Filipino. I can just only add one word to this vision. When I see this research, dara siya tanan nagapakadto. The words of our former NEDA, and adequate jobs. Moreover, identified as second and third most important goals are housing, education, and health. The survey results also indicated modern lifestyle. So let me just pause for a moment. This is a valid documents from NEDA. And I found some, probably the cause na hindi naton mahimo ang aton objective. It's also show one word that describes here, modern lifestyle of all Filipino people. What we want to achieve this is to have a modern economy, but traditional lifestyle. That is the secret of Korea. That is the secret of China. That is the secret of Japan. That they have this modern economy, yet traditionally moved by people. Look at now, an example as this workshop presented. Look at now. You're being served sa snacks nyo with hamburger and siopaw and juice. And what is that? Milk. That's good. That is the modern lifestyle. But what will happen to the economy? Before, if you ask Dr. Robles and Sir Palmares, what they eat before was kamote, saging. And I was so privileged na gin-offer ako papaya and kasaba. While you were eating all this modern food, that really triggers the economy. Why? Because when they offer or give you kasaba, banana, you're helping the farmers. You will be having a good lifestyle. You will be having a good health. That later on, that food will no need medicine, but it will become a medicine for you. 24 years from now, if we will restore our traditional lifestyle, we will achieve this. With regards to education, if you will ask all these leaders in the country, kung ipakumparar mo sila, ano ang gusto nila, subong or sanguna, they will still prefer to live before. Hindi ba, sir? Because in education, lain ang direction. But now, it's different. So what I'm trying to drive here is, we need to restore traditional lifestyle in order to achieve this ambition natin 2040. Look at Korea. They have still norms, customs being practiced centuries ago. Look at Japan. Still, traditionally, people practicing all those customs, traditions, but in terms of economic development, they are modern. We need to follow that footsteps. The reason why World Health Organization and United Nations failed to achieve the health for all in 2080 because of the modern lifestyle that started to 1960s up to 1980s. We Filipinos will achieve this goal if we will restore the traditional way of living. For example, what is the problem in Manila? Losing 1 billion peso every day because of traffic. But if we will restore this traditional living, one house, one car, lahat, tanan nga family ara nag-reside, you see? Males ang car necessity, males ang place where subong makita mo, damo sa isa ka family, anom ang balay because ang isa ka bata, may balay dito, may balay dito. Look at the technology that we need. Ang isa ka Pilipino subong, may ara duwa ka cellphone. So this is the modern lifestyle that causes sa aton nga mission and vision nga hindi ma-achieve. Because this is really what I see. I am just 41 years old. But it's up to the personality and perspective we see things. I want to have a modern economy. I want to see and experience modern life. But I should still be connected and I should be still living in a traditional way. Because doing so, you will be helping not only the economy, but also yourselves. In marketing, there are 4 P's. In entrepreneur, there are 5 P's. But I see in economy, there are only 2 P's needed. Politics and people. That is the 2 P's that I invented. We need the right people with a traditional mind to run the government. Look at the president now. He lives in a very traditional way. And he moves the government, except for some. But he is living in a traditional way, and he's moving fast. Look at this. And that is what we need. Sakto ang humble ni Dr. Robles that we need to change our mind, our perspective. We need to go back to the basic. And that is my 4th point. Thank you.
So, good morning, everyone. Good morning, sirs and ma'ams who are present here, and to my fellow Pol Sci students, good morning. So, this Ambition 2040, I might say that it is a very good plan, especially nga for 25 years from now, kitagid nga youth ang maapektuhan because we would be like 44, 45 years old. We will be working professionals already. Some of us will become lawyers someday, so hopefully. So I would like to reiterate the points that isn't it too ambitious nga by 2040, wala na gid man sang imol, wala na gid man sang mga magutom. So, in my own opinion, the root cause of this would be, if we really want for our economy or our government to flourish, let's focus on the minor details. It might be minor or the basic problems, but also as major problems man ni sila. Just like sa youth nga nag-aapekto gid kanaton nga, I know you will agree with me, is ang high percentage of teenage pregnancy, di ba la? So, one of the articles that I read last night stated nga sa isa ka survey, sa isa ka study within sa countries around Southeast Asia, ang Philippines ang may pinaka taas nga increase sang percentage sang young mothers in the past 10 to 20 years. So it's very alarming. So ano nisa, we must focus first on education because it's a cycle. Teenage pregnancy is not just a personal problem. It's not just a family problem, but it is a community problem. Because first and foremost, poverty and hunger is caused by high population. Ano nagakos ng high population? Unwanted births, di ba la? From us nga youth. So we need to, maybe the government, by electing the right officials, by electing the deserving nga set of officers nga mapadalagan ka government, we should focus on education gid. Because kumbaga, education will mold us. Going back, naghambal man to kagina, sorry kung medyo magamuhan ka mo sa point of view ko, pero going back, ginahambal man to kay ng aspirations is family-centered. So the kind of family that we belong to explains the kind of personality that we have, explains the kind of outlook that we have. Mas start din ni sa family. Sa family, what if ang family nagalive sila sa poverty? So the kind of family that you have, that you belong to, is not that, ihambal, tabi nga, it's not that very productive. Kaya because once magmahalin ka sa pamilya nga imol, paano ka maka-eskwela? I belong also to a religious group wherein nag-sponsor sila sang mga youth nga makapa-eskwela through as the college. Pero naghambal ni ang si father nga, okay, let's provide them money, let's provide them allowance. Pero ang mindset